Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Of course, with the Season 2 Reloaded update here in Warzone, we ended up getting a new meta update. They buffed and they nerfed a handful of weapons. We also got a new weapon alongside the launch of Season 2 Reloaded with the Voyak rifle, and just recently we got the new marksman, or the old marksman, if you will, a throwback weapon with the swordfish. And so today, I wanted to go through and break down the entirety of the new meta here post Season 2 Reloaded here. So we are on COD Community with my meta tier list that has every single gun in the game ranked from MW2 to MW3 to BO6 to BO7 now. We've got quite a bit to update and adjust here. So first up, we got to start off with the new weapons, and these are pretty straightforward in my opinion. The Voyak is absolutely a meta tier rifle. If you wanted to build this for sniper support, it's going to be right up there with some of the sniper support rifles, like for instance the Egert, like the AK, which you could build out for that. The Maddox, the Peacekeeper, all really solid options there. It's also really good for mid to long range, just general overall gameplay as well. Really solid rifle here, very fun option in general. Now with the Swordfish, this one is incredibly easy to use. Like, it is point and shoot. It's pretty much a laser beam, although it is a burst weapon, so it's a bit more awkward. I would say this one lands more in the A tier, quite frankly. If you like burst weapons, I think you're gonna like this one a lot because it's much better than some of the other burst options that we've got. Like the default M8, absolutely better than that. Really consistent, especially with that pentaburst mod on there. So both our new weapons for this half season feel very competitive, feel very strong in general. Now I've also got my handy dandy list of notes for all these specific weapon updates that happened that actually impacted the core gun. They also did some attachment updates on certain guns, so we won't go through the full list with all of those, but we've got quite a few buffs and nerfs to go through and break down. The MXR, for example, ended up getting buffed yet again. So this thing was already an A tier. They buffed its long damage range, basically. So the damage in its minimum range is even better now. I would say it is close to being back in absolute meta, but it's not quite there yet. Like, it's definitely borderline A tier absolute meta as it stands. When you have stuff like the Egert, which is super low recoil, when you have something like the Voyak now, the MK78, the AK, all right there, I do think the MXR is just a tad bit behind those, but not far off by any means. You could use this thing and really dominate with it if you're comfortable with the gun. Now the Kogot ended up getting some solid buffs here. It got an overall range buff. Its rate of fire got buffed, so its TTK is even faster, and it also got an ADS speed buff as well. This to me does bring it up into the absolute meta and has it competing right there with the Carbon, for example, a few of the other SMGs that we'll be talking about here as the main meta subs that we've got to do some updating with. But yeah, the Kogot feels fantastic right now. For example, the Razor 9mm got another range buff. Quite frankly, this thing needed to be an absolute meta beforehand. It's even more so now. One of the best TTKs in the entire game in its first damage range that's now extended even further. You can really stack attachments on here to help maintain the accuracy. It's got a little bit of recoil, a little bit of bounce, but you can certainly make it a lot easier to use by going for more control attachments. And with that, I mean, this thing just absolutely melts up close. One of the best SMGs, one of the best close range options in the entire game outright. And by the way, as we are going through all the weapon rankings here and how the general meta plays out, if you guys enjoyed the video, you find this information helpful, do me a favor, drop a like. It's always seriously appreciated, and it's a great way to help grow the channel and share the video around. And if you happen to be new to the channel, you want to ensure you are always in the know for everything going on in COD, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well. Now the Rev 46 ended up seeing some pretty significant nerfs with this update. They nerfed its range, they nerfed its recoil, they nerfed its headshot multiplier and its ADS speed, and quite frankly, this thing definitely gets knocked down a tier. I would say it's going to maintain A tier for now, but it's definitely hovering closer to B tier. Its first damage range, which can be anywhere from like 12 to 15 meters depending on what attachments you have, its first damage range is competitive. Beyond that though, it drops off significantly, so that's why it's kind of hovering here, but it's certainly on par with something like a Striker, for example, also an A tier SMG, but that one is noticeably worse now after this update. The SG-12 here, shotgun, obviously the icon's a little bit busted on it, but they actually nerfed this with its spread a little bit. It already wasn't an insanely good shotgun. Its spread will be slightly worse. That's not going to change it out of the C tier. That's where a lot of the shotguns end up falling as it stands right now. The MK78, already an absolute meta option here, does get even better with Season 2 Reloaded. They buffed its first damage range, which is like 50 meters or something, so it's even stronger there. That's a W. Its recoil also got easier when it was already a laser beam, so that's an even bigger W. Its velocity got buffed, and its torso and its leg multipliers got buffed. This thing is one of the best guns in the entire game right now, hands down. It is a laser beam. It is easy to use. It's gonna hit hard. Its only drawbacks are that it's an LMG, so it's got a slow ADS, slow mobility, and a slow reload, and that's not a huge con, or those aren't huge cons to have when this is a gun you're supposed to be fighting at 40, 50, 60, 70 plus meters with to begin with. This thing is an absolute monster. Hey everyone, real quick, wanted to give a shout out to my friends over at G Fuel. If you guys are looking to stay hydrated and energized, look no further than G Fuel. They've got so many different flavors. Like really, they've got something for everyone. My absolute go-tos right now gotta be Hype Sauce, my all-time goat, Watermelon Limeade, then the Nuke Pop flavor as well with that 2.0 formula. Fantastic. So if you guys want to grab anything at all from the G Fuel site, make sure you throw in code IMMORTAL at checkout and you'll save yourself some money. Link will be down in the description below if you're interested. And then also the M8, I don't have it listed as like the direct conversion on this list just because there aren't full aftermarket parts, but that's the reason it was absolute meta. They nerfed this thing hard. The recoil on the conversion kit, much worse now. That thing jumps around like crazy. They also nerfed the velocity. Quite frankly, this thing, I would say, drops down into the B tier now. It's got like the kilo properties where, you know, its damage is not going to be crazy. For the mid-range, the recoil is probably manageable, but over long range, it's just not going to be worth using. So, in my opinion, that's definitely a significant nerf there. We also have to do some retroactive updating here with the general meta. The Raiden, certainly at this point, I would consider it to be an absolute meta SMG. The Raiden, the Razor, the Kogat, and the Carbon all are right there in that same sort of niche, and it's really preference based on which of those you like more. The mobility of the Carbon is insane. The TTK of the Raiden and the Razor are phenomenal. Those are great choices. Also, the Peacekeeper. This thing's gotten buff after buff after buff. Absolutely going to be you know, a meta option whether you want to use it for sniper support or for mid to long range. They did make the control easier with specific attachments, not helping out the core gun, but when you're running a few of them, it's going to be even more of a laser. So that thing absolutely is considered #1 absolute meta for me right now. I would argue it could be the best gun in the game. I also think the Mirage probably gets knocked down into the B tier. This is one that's probably overdue as well. Its damage is just not all that crazy right now when you compare it to some of the other rifles in the category. I mean, the mod is there. That absolutely outclasses it. The MXR as well. I'd take the Swordfish over that, for instance. The Maverick there too. So a lot of other options that can certainly outclass it in its current state. But that's kind of how the meta plays out after season 2 Reloaded as we head into season 3 here. Obviously, this is primarily based around loadout customization options in standard, resurgence, or battle royale. If you're looking for general Black Ops Royale weapons, anything in the absolute meta that you can upgrade certainly is worth running. And it just so happens a lot of the ground loot in Black Ops Royale are these absolute meta weapons. The Carbon, the Raiden, the Razor, the Kogat, the Egert, the AK, the MK78, the Maddox. A lot of these choices you'll end up finding, I think, the Peacekeeper in there too. So helps out nicely that a lot of the best guns in the game right now are ground loot that you can get to gold tier by upgrading them with the attachment kits. So those are certainly the ones you want to eye the most here in Black Ops Royale if you're focusing more on that, or of course for general gameplay. You've got options on options here. Anything B tier and higher is certainly worth using as it stands, but absolute meta really shining in certain instances, whether it be for sniper support, close range, long range, or hybrid of some of those combined with some of the more versatile options. Pretty balanced meta though. Still would like to see some old legacy weapons be a little bit more competitive. The XMG, the AMAX, things like that. Close, but not quite there. Be nice to see that balanced out a little bit more, but for now, that's how things play out. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like on it. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button on your way out so you can always guarantee you are in the know for everything going on in Call of Duty. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.